What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Stephen Rosentoski here of Maize n Brew, and which 5 true freshmen can make an impact this season? That's what we're talking about today. Michigan brought in the number 13 class in the country for 2021, number 2 class in the Big Ten. So which one of these recruits are most likely to make an immediate impact? What's the order here, okay? So there are some guys, this is just precursor, there are some guys that I will not feature in the top 5 that I think will end up being some of the best in the class, okay? Giovanni El-Hadi, Tristan Bounds. These are a couple of names that I won't mention in the top 5 that I do think will ultimately be some of the best in the class. So these are individuals, the guys in this list are ones that have the talent to make the immediate impact and the skill set to fill the gaps that Michigan needs with their roster right now. So again, if you're looking for full previews on every single freshman in the class, check out the freshman feature series. I covered all freshmen for the 2021 recruits in detail here. So 2 quick things. Number 1, let's try to get this video to 100 likes. Number 2, subscribe if you haven't already. Trying to get the channel to 5,000 subscribers before the season. Let's see if we can get there. Okay, I've talked enough. Let's dive into the top 5. Number 5, Tommy Doman. This one may shock some people, okay? Doman is essentially a 5-star specialist prospect out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. He's a combo kicker and punter, higher rated as a punter than a kicker, but he's top 5 to most services in both regards. Why immediate impact, right? Michigan has Brad Robbins. Michigan has Jake Moody. Robbins will cover the punting duties this year, I believe. Then it's essentially Jake Moody for both kick and kickoff duties without Tommy Doman. I expect Doman to take over the kickoff duties, okay? He's shown the ability in high school to continually get touchbacks on his kickoffs. That's going to allow Moody to focus more on field goal kicking exclusively. Obviously, that's really important, getting a reliable field goal kicker throughout the season. So I think that's what having Tommy Doman on kickoff will allow Jake Moody to focus on, okay? And this will allow Doman to contribute without too much pressure, and will likely need Doman as a Wolverine next year as the place kicker, as the field goal kicker. So getting him involved early on this year will prep him for next year as well. So that's your number 5. Number 4, Rayshawn Benny. Okay, one of my favorite prospects in the class, partially because he did flip from the Spartans of Michigan State to the Wolverines late in the recruiting cycle. 4-star, top 200 overall. 6'5", 275 defensive lineman out of Oak Park, Michigan. So I think there's enough bodies on the defensive line this year where he may not be needed at a high level, right? But the more able-bodied guys you have across the defensive line, the better your unit as a whole is, and I think that's where he fills in. Position where rotating guys really makes sense, and Benny himself, a very versatile, athletic defensive lineman. Some of his best attributes are how moldable he is as either a 3-tech, 5-tech, knows he can do a lot of different things at his size, college-sized already at 275. So it will give the defensive staff a lot of flexibility in how to deploy him. I think that's going to get him on the field. Maybe not feature prominently this year, but if there's a young defensive lineman to get some time this year, it's going to be Benny, and I think he'll do that. So moving on to number 3 here, J.J. McCarthy. Okay, really, really hard to place McCarthy at number 3. You could argue much higher on this list. Obviously, he's a 5-star quarterback, originally from Nazareth High School in Illinois, transferred to IMG, organizer of the 2021 class, right? He really kept it together through the tough 2020 outfit we saw. Huge advocate for the program overall. You're probably looking at the future of the program when you're looking at J.J. McCarthy. So this year, 2021, is the year of Cade McNamara, right? He is your starter. That was announced at Big Ten Media Day from Jim Harbaugh, but we do know how valuable depth at quarterback is. Michigan fans had their fair share of quarterback injuries just last year as well, and Harbaugh explicitly said that McCarthy is already pushing McNamara, okay? So we know McCarthy has the physical skill set already to contribute. He's very mature for his age when it comes to the intellectual side as well, and the mental state of a quarterback, which is a very important aspect to consider. So I wouldn't bet against him if he got his shot this year. I don't think he'll get a shot unless things go wrong with McNamara. But again, QB depth cannot be understated, and I think J.J. McCarthy truly earns this number 3 spot. Has an argument for even higher, but moving on to that higher spot, number 2, Junior Colson. Okay, I'm going out on a bit of a limb here with this pick. He's, of course, Colson, the top 100 4-star linebacker from Ravenwood High School in Tennessee. Dude was already 6'2", 228 out of high school. If you watched my video covering the top 3 concerned position groups I have going into the season, you would know that linebacker is at the top. That's a big reason number 2 on this list is a linebacker, okay? I think Colson has the college-sized body already to contribute. He was an early enrollee too, so that's a really big reason he's on this list, learning the new defense at the same time that everyone else on the roster is, right? It's kind of a blank slate. So given he has the college-sized body already, I think he's going to be in the mix of getting significant snaps. And if there was a true freshman to get significant time at that position, he's the guy I would bet on. So I don't think he's going to start, but I do expect him to be part of the rotation, okay? And because of the lack of depth at the linebacker position, how worried I am overall, I think that's why he could be argued for the number 1 spot, but I have him at number 2. Okay, finally, before announcing number 1 real quick, shout out to Keno Bear and Logan Evans. These 2 guys are the channel's first members, okay? For being members, they got a sneak peek for this video, early access, a shout out, and more, okay? So check out this video in the description. I'll put it where I announce the memberships if you want to become a member of the channel. Keno Bear, Logan Evans, thank you guys for becoming the first 2 members of this channel. Okay, number 1, Donovan Edwards. All right, you guys know this guy, or you should. If you haven't already, you'll learn pretty soon. He's high 4-star, 5-star, according to 24/7 Sports ranking. He's 5'11", 190 pounds, out of West Bloomfield High School. Next level playmaker at the running back position. Really dynamic player. Sure, he may be the number 3 running back on the roster behind Hazan Haskins and Blake Corum, but I still think there's plenty of snaps per game because of the versatility he brings. Best running back on the roster, in my opinion, when it comes to receiving ability. Okay, he was lauded out of high school for his blocking ability as well, so that will get him a lot of playing time in that regard. So I think the offense would truly be crazy to not take advantage of him, and I truly think they will. Jim Harbaugh came out and said that he was a day 1 contributor. He said that at Big Ten Media Days as well. So there is something to be considered in terms of recruiting. Remember, Edwards was seriously being pursued by a ton of top programs, including Oklahoma and Georgia. Okay, so I bet immediate playing time was likely a factor that Michigan ended up getting his recruitment, and it's a promise that Michigan should keep firm. They should deliver on that, right? So he does have the size and ability to be an offensive weapon this year and beyond despite that, but that's something to consider on why he will get playing time as well. So I expected to see him right away, probably first game, and he'd be the most confident I would be in being a regular contributor this year. So that's my list. That's all I got for you guys. I turn over to you. Who are your top 5 immediate impact freshmen? Is my list crazy? I want to hear your list, how you would rank these guys or different guys I didn't mention. Shout out again to Keno Bear and Logan Evans for the subscriptions. Welcome to the channel. Appreciate you guys a lot. Beyond that, thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Stay safe out there, and as always, go blue.